Hi, Brittney. Nathan's over there in the corner listening and chiming in. So, we have a question for you. Well, basically, we're wondering if we might need to move out west.
All right, I'll fill in. So we got home, and Allison realized that the humidity and everything was too much. So she's thinking for her lupus and then doing research last night. Humidity and extreme temperatures trigger lupus, and so she's been talking or triggers flares and is worse and things. So she talked to some autoimmune friends who all agreed, or she said that she knew of several people who moved around because of that. And so we were spent many hours last night looking at Boeing sites. There's like one job in Colorado Springs, and then El Segundo, Long Beach, and then Seattle. And so we looked at housing and everything. It was a good end of vacation party. And now she's just feeling sad because she feels stuck, because anywhere that has a temperate climate, namely California and Seattle, have crazy world politic people friend things happening. So it's not a good place to raise families per se, but maybe it is.
Well, all the things that you were talking about, Brittney, it was just, we weren't even thinking about any of that. It was just kind of this, cumulative over the course of the vacation, just feeling like little things where, we were in Colorado and it's like, oh, this is really lovely. This is a lovely place to be. And the sacrament meeting we had on Sunday was just like, oh, these people seem like our people. And so we were looking at that was, where was that? Alamosa area. Anyway, but the closest place would be Colorado Springs, and we were looking and it's just hard to wrap my mind around I don't know, just it's a big deal.
So I could get a job with any engineering company and completely transfer, but our immediate thought last night was to go to a Boeing site for a year, like a sabbatical.
And keep our house here.
And keep the house here and just rent out there wherever we go. And then either move back or make decisions after that. So that limits us to the Boeing sites. So maybe we'll come join you. We'll find a rental there and be your next door neighbors while you're still there for another year. And then I'll drive 2 hours to El Segundo every morning in traffic.
That sounds terrible.
Yep, sounds terrible.
I mean, where you live sounds lovely and was lovely, but that's the tricky thing, is it's all of our friends that have been in Seattle or moved from Seattle or whatever have said well, we avoid, the Seattle, everybody from Seattle was saying it's not humid, and it's beautiful and lots of hiking and outdoorsy things. That was one of the really nice things, is being out there and just feeling I can do outside stuff. This is wonderful. This is feels normal and back to what we were like before. And then coming here, we just cleaned out the car, and it was just Nathan and I are both dripping in sweat, and I have a raging headache. And today it's just been I don't want to go outside. I'm not going outside. It's it's in the high 80s or whatever, and it's just miserable. And I mean, not miserable it's we've lived with this forever and it's fine, but it's just kind of I
question why anybody would ever live in Missouri.
Anyway, so we love it, but it's at the same time, it's just kind of but if this is not the best place, if we can't do anything, if I can't take care of the farm or garden or go hiking with the kids or do any of those things, what's the point? If we're always going to be hunkered down inside, that's just not our lifestyle that we've ever wanted to have. So it's frustrating, because it's okay, we don't know anything about the West aside from Utah. We don't want to live in, Nathan could get a job in Salt Lake, but the big Boeing, I mean, as in Boeing.
But that's not any better from a lupus standpoint.
Well,
it's
yeah.
humidity and extreme temperatures.
So, but the thing is, like, so it's just tricky because it's like, I don't know if it's just the humidity or if it's the heat and the cold. Like, when we were in Colorado, I don't know if you saw that polo, but we were at the Continental Divide, and my hand just, like, did the Raynaud's. Raynaud's is where, like, your appendages, like your feet and your hands, like, turn completely white on the ends. Like, just being outside for, like, a couple of minutes with that, like, changing the temperature from the car to the outside. And I was just, like, shaking, which is normal. People get cold, but... So I don't know. Like, I don't know if my body would just acclimate to it or if it would be... Because it gets cold here. Anyway, so it's just this whirlwind of, like, now we need to, like, research the whole western United States and figure out, like, if there are places out west that politically are like it is in Missouri where we can have, like, a safe place to raise our kids but isn't humid and is, you know, I mean... To have consistent temperatures like San Diego is not going to be realistic unless we move to San Diego. But,
so she found Santa Barbara, but then we found
and then we were like, oh, that's where all the famous people live. Like, there's no way we can move there. We were looking at climate maps and everything last night. And anyway, so it just feels like we're stuck because all the places that are ideal for autoimmune, for lupus specifically, are all the places where all the rich people, you know, want to move, and so they move there, and they're very liberal and changes everything. So then I had the thought just now, those house hunter shows, you know, that used to be on HGTV where they're like, we decided to move to this tiny little island in the middle of, so I don't even know where, but it speaks English.
In Belize.
Yeah, like it speaks English, and like maybe that's what we should do. Maybe we should move to some tiny little island somewhere. Anyway, I don't know. So I've been texting friends. So this is between us. Don't tell people in the family yet because we're still very much, like, not sure what we're doing or if it's even a possibility. But we thought we'd ask you, since you live out there in the western, well, in California specifically, but you also do a lot of research into all the politics and all of the climates and things like that, where, you know, where you guys would want to live. And so looking to see any thoughts that you might have. Like, what do you know about Colorado? Like, is that, you know, are there places that are kind of like California anywhere else in the world besides, like, Mediterranean Europe? Because we can't move there. We don't speak any languages that are in Europe. I don't know.
Mostly she just wanted to vent. She feels stuck.
I do feel stuck, and I just feel like, well, what are we supposed to do? Like, it just feels like,
I encouraged her to go think about it while she gardens, but
there's no way. I can't even go outside, you know, for any amount of time past, like, 10 in the morning. And that sounds great to say, like, oh, just wake up at 7 a.m. every day. But if you're, like, flaring, you're not going to wake up at 7 a.m. Like, there's no way. I can't even pull out of bed before 10. Anyway, unless I have, like, something that I have to do, and I'm not going to set my alarm to garden at 7 a.m. every day.
And so she was saying that once we got acclimated, the last half of our trip, she felt relatively fine.
Yeah.
She would have to, you know, take it slow, but she didn't crash for 4 hours in the middle of the day like she was doing.
Right. Like, I could just lay down at Legoland on a bench or something, or just sit, and I was okay. Like, and that's not optimal, but, you know, that was just a week or so in to being, well, I don't know, 3 weeks in. Anyway, so I don't know. So there's this hope over, you know, hope sitting there thinking, I think Caitlin has the last one. This
Show Aunt Brittney what you found in our garden that you're eating. Little peas.
So anyway, there's this hope of, like, maybe I can get better, you know, if I don't have these other triggers, and maybe we can have a relatively normal, you know, life, being able to do normal things, like going hiking all the time and stuff.
Wait.
What?
Let's just swap. You will come here, and we'll go there.
David would die.
No, it's fine. He works virtual anyways.
He does not. He's
Pretty
in Las
much. No,
Vegas.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think about the swap idea.
Okay, so Matt could be a
Because-
farmer.
Yeah, because that's the whole, like, that helps Matt. Like, that works for everyone. It really fixes everything.
Yeah, right.
So let us know.
Anyway, if you do chime in on your thoughts of just all of that. It's a lot. And it's been a surprise. So, love ya.
Bye.
Bye.